Who is Caio? Wow, I'm gonna get philosophical here.
MEETORS, 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 MEETORS. Meet creators with Big Sunny. This is a space to show all creators of Central Florida in English and in Spanish.
MEETORS, another episode, and now I'm very excited. You're my first interview that is from Brazil, and more important, that you speak 3 languages like me. Nice! Spanish, English, and Portuguese.
That's correct.
How are you doing, Caio?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm very excited because we didn't know each other. We just met for the episode, and this is very great. I'm very excited to meet you within MEETORS and to let everybody know who you are. So my first question, and I know everybody's like, who is Caio?
Who is Caio? Wow, I'm gonna get philosophical here for a minute. So it's funny that you're asking me that because I'm still trying to figure out who I am, especially when it comes to career goals, what I want to do in my life. The last, few 2 years were kind of like a roller coaster for me, I would say. A lot of ups and downs, and really trying to figure out. I'm really creative. I just, sometimes I just like to sit down and start scribbling, come up with some ideas, sometimes for videos, sometimes for photos, sometimes even products. I never put a product idea up because I feel like my thing should be videos, but sometimes I come up with like ideas of products like, oh my God, how no one ever thought about this, But again, I think I should, stick more to the video part.
You will say that video is your thing.
Yes.
Video and photography.
Exactly.
But you like more video.
So it's a big debate. My thing is like I started with photography. I think most videographers they do that. Back in high school, I used to take photos. I have my film camera at the time. Never thought about going professional. I mean, I wanted to, but it was just about money. Especially when we talk about Brazil. Unfortunately, that's a career that not a lot of people appreciate, and I don't really think you can have a stable income, you can make money out of that. So, throughout my life, my professors, even some family members too, used to tell me, no, this is a hobby. No, you can take photos, but that's a hobby. You need to have a stable job. So you need to do business, be an engineer, a lawyer, something that you're going to have a stable job. In your free time, you can take photos. So yeah, I've heard that for a long time. But again, I always kept shooting even with the phone. I never really had a professional camera until 2017. But I started with photography. I was doing, they had meetups back in Houston. That's when I started for the first time. And I was just doing like for practice, there was like models and people like teaching how to pose. And I was just like snapping photos, and I really liked it. I was like, okay, I think I can make a career with that, And I remember there was this little girl in one of those meetups. She was not even there for that. Like, I went to a bar to get some food, and there was this really cute girl, Starlet. She was probably like two years old. And I asked her, Mom, hey, can I take a photo of her? She's so cute. She had like this, fluffy hair. She had like makeup on. She's like 2 years old. I was like, can I take a photo? I was like, yes, please. Can you send me? It's like, yeah, of course. So I took the photos and I, edited and sent it to her. Her mom loved it. She's like, oh, actually, I want to hire you to do that. I was like, oh, wow. So someone's paying me for my work for the first time ever, So I was like, okay, yeah. I got super excited. Of course, I charged her super little because it was my first official photo shoot. So yeah, with photography, I did learn the basics of it. It was like shutter speed, ISO, framing, all those little things. But I felt like video was so more challenging because
There is a storytelling behind.
exactly there's so much behind it. It's storytelling, and then it's not just the image. It's you gotta know the frame rate or the sound design, editing, colors. There's so much into it, and I was like, actually, I want to see how that goes. So I started like studying and did an online course with Aussie Experience, which is like a really good online course in Brazil, just to see how it felt. And it was like a summer edition, so it was like every day we had like assignments and things like that. So we try. The first one was a vlog, and then we had a music video. We had like a little promo video, and all those things, was more like assignments. So I just reach out to people. Hey, I'm taking this class. I would like to do a free video for you. Like, I'm starting right now. I'm not sure how it goes, and that's what I did. And amazing, like, turned out, pretty good. And a lot of people start reaching out to me. Hey, I really like this video. Can you do something like that for me? So, yeah, and I was like, okay, video's my thing. I still love photography. Don't get me wrong. I'll do it whenever, But I always try to focus a little bit more on the video, just because it's more challenging.
That's what I noticed when you first said, because I will guess that Caio likes challenge.
Yes.
That's what motivates you?
Yes.
Is that what motivates you?
I have a lot of things motivating me, and it took me a little bit because first, of course, everyone thinks about money, because money plays a big factor of, how I'm going to pay the bills, how I'm going to buy more equipment. So that was one of the things. But I think one thing that I'd like to do is to help people. And, for example, one of the videos that I did that I love it was to help it's K9 Angel, which is a dog rescue facility in Houston. And I did a video because I knew they need donations, and I knew they need that content. So one thing that I like to do is to help people. It can be their business, or it can be an idea they wanted to share, or anything that I feel like is going to be beneficial for other people. Another thing that motivates me is entertain people. I like when people have fun. That's that's the type of content I like to post on social media. Usually funny things, or I love dog videos, so whenever I see a dog or something, I love to record, because I know that somehow it's going to help someone out there. Even though it's like 30 seconds of them laughing and smiling, at least I was able to somehow contribute for their happiness, even though it's something temporary. So I feel like my motivation is really helping people. If it's their business, if their ideas, I'm not sure. But that's one of the things that makes me happy.
Okay, and that's what motivates you. I would like to ask you, what inspires you?
What inspires me?
Mm-hmm.
That's a deep question. So right now, I'm really into travel photography because I really like nature. I love nature, and I really care about the environment too. So I think what inspires me, it's really be able to enjoy the world and like meeting people in different cultures. So those things, the possibility of getting to know other people through my work, which is like arts and videos, that's what really inspired me. And one thing that inspired me a lot too is when people reach out to me on Instagram, and I don't even have that many followers. I have only 2,000 followers, but I'm happy with those 2,000 followers I have, because they really support me. They comment, they share, they exchange value with me. But what I love the most is when random people reach out to me. Sometimes they have just a simple question, like, how did you do this effect, or what camera would you recommend? And I usually get back to them, and I usually send them audios, and like I'll talk to them for like hours, and they get so surprised, like, oh my God, I never thought you would get back to me. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, a lot of people that reach out, they usually ignore me, or they are rude, like, and that's something that inspires me, just the fact that that person reached out to me and somehow was able to help her finding the next camera, or finding their passion when it comes to photography, or even motivating them. Just to be like, no, you can do it, even just sharing the YouTube channels that help me. It's like, those are the channels I watch that help me to understand and learn.
Nice. I like that. So you will say that at your I'm hearing you, Caio, and then what comes to my mind is his final or his optimum goal would be serving for others through what you do, which is videographer, which is an art that it takes a lot from you, from your creativity, but that's what I will think. Correct me or tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're correct. And I for example, the type of video I like or film is the one that makes you think. I like action movie and all that. I watch it, but that's not my favorite movie. When there's a movie that's, makes me think about the society we live in, the consequences, and really makes me stop to think, wow, this is a great movie. And that's the type of content I want to be able to create. Everything I do when it comes to video, photography, editing, is really try to convey a message. The storytelling, the storyline. Why did I put that image before this one? Or why did the transition like this? And that's something that people sometimes don't understand or they don't appreciate. As we talked, some people think that the work you do when it comes to editing, just throwing everything together. You just click one button and randomize the footage. No, there is a reason why the specific shot is right there at that part of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like trying to tell a story, trying to convey a message.
This episode is thanks to our sponsor, Secret Art Studios, located in St. Cloud, Florida. This is a place for creators where you can simply do your photography, videography, or podcasting. Simply type secretartstudios.com on your browser or at Secret Art Studios on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
So you talk about something that is very important, which is creative freedom. Within all the things that we can make within videography and filmography, what area is the one that makes you more happy and that you are already dedicating to or you want to dedicate?
So,
and if you can tell me why.
So let's just go back a little bit on the background so we understand better.
Yes.
I've literally tried every single type of, not every single of them. I haven't done adult content and I want to, but besides that, I've done pretty much everything. I've done like short film. Most of it was, during school time, but I've done some short films, real estate, weddings, quinceañeras, fashion shoots. I really like fashion. And the list goes on. But one thing that I really, really like, and that's my 5 years plan, is travel photography and videography. And when I say that, a lot of people think, oh, you're just going to travel the world doing photos. No, it's...
And be the blogger.
Yeah,
like
be the
YouTube,
blogger.
say, hi, guys,
Yeah.
here we go. I know.
Nah, that's not my goal. I don't even want to be vlogging anymore. I have a YouTube channel. It was fun. I like to do, but the reality is like, I like my private time sometimes too. I don't like to be sharing every single second of my day. That's not me. Again, I like to share meaningful things. Like if I'm seeing something funny or something interesting that no one have seen before, okay, that's cool. But I don't plan to be blogging or making reviews, selling this type of service. Like I don't want to do a blogger. I don't want a company, a hotel, or travel tour agents to call me. It's like, oh, your followers really, I have a lot of followers. Can you come and just shoot a photo and tag us? No, that's not the type of content I want to do. I want to be able to do, first partnerships with hotels and small local business. As I mentioned, I went to Pensacola last week, and I asked my Uber driver, hey, I'm not from town. What interesting things you have to do here? So he gave me a list of things, and he mentioned, oh, I actually have a tour boat. Would you be interested, in coming over and do some photos? It's like, yeah, sure. So we exchanged service.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really interested because I knew it was a small business. He has like a small boat when compared to all the other boats. They're like huge boats, and he's...
And a very competitive area.
Exactly.
Which is Pensacola, yes.
And I know for him, it would be really helpful, and that's when he comes. And I know he's not expecting anything from me besides, the content, but he is not expecting for specific quality, because he's not even in the business, I would say, of marketing or content. Like, I even gave him some tips for Instagram. I saw his Instagram. It's like, okay, there's a few things that you can change. And that's when it comes from the fact that I like to help people. And again, really try to make a difference. And that's the type of thing I want to do. I want to start reaching out to small business, and because there's so much out there. And a lot of the small businesses, especially when you talk about like small cities, small places like away, like they don't really use social media.
Or they don't know how to use social media as well.
Exactly. So sometimes there's like an amazing restaurant with like this amazing food, but you don't know about it because they're not even on Google, because only locals know. So like how they promote themselves, they usually don't even. So you want to be able to help them, because you see, that's the thing, like you see the quality of the food, the quality of the service, and you just think that they are not what they need to be, what they deserve to be. With everything they show or they give it to you, they should be, higher there. More people need to know that. And that's the thing too. I'm not just helping the business, but I'm also helping people that are interested in trying new things. And that's something that really sparks, inside of me, because there's so much out there to see. And I'm just like, okay,
like it makes you grow.
Exactly. And especially, it got to a point now that I'm like, I'm not sure where I'm going to live. At some point, I want to have a family. I love kids. At some point, I want to have kids.
And how old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, my age.
See?
Hey,
I'm 27. So, at some point, but sometimes you can plan kids, sometimes they happen, but planning accordingly, like if I can, of course, I want to wait a little longer. So traveling is something that I really enjoy, and just like, it's like the moment just stops. And that's another thing too, what I like, because I feel like when I'm just traveling, it's okay, but when I have my camera on, it's like, I'm like 100% focused on that moment. Like, like I'm really like,
I know what you mean, because I like to also that area or that side of traveling photography. When I do have my camera with me, and when I'm traveling alone as well, both things together, it's like the purpose of the trip changes.
yeah,
And you're more focused, but it's like everything is more intense.
yes,
You have like a meaning you're trying to find it, but at the same time, you are observing
yeah,
what is happening
exactly.
surrounding you.
It's just like, you have the camera, so you stop to analyze everything. It's like, what's going to be in the frame. So you start noticing like small things that if you didn't have your camera, or if you didn't stop to actually analyze, would just pass through it. Or even matter sometimes, especially like if you're in a car or something moving fast, and trying to snap photos or do videos, and then you go back to edit, and then you see something that you didn't even see. Especially when it comes to photo, you zoom in and like, oh my God, that's so interesting. Like, I didn't realize this person was posing this way or doing this thing, or there was this bird, So now it's just like, and I capture that. It's just like right there.
I like that. There is something that you said at the beginning of our conversation that it really catch my attention, because I think it's very repetitive everywhere. When you mentioned that even since you were very young, you wanted to do photography, and maybe at that time not so clear about videography, but you wanted to create, and people told you that you needed to be, let's say, like a normal person who study a career and just have a regular job and regular life, and that just photography is for a passion, that for a side hustle. And that's something that happens everywhere. It happens to me. It happens I know a lot of countries in South America, so it happens a lot over there, and it also happens here, talking with Americans here in the U.S. So my question would be, when was the moment that you decided that, no, this is what I want to do with my life, and this is what I'm going to pursue? When was that time, and how was the discovery moment in your life?
So, again, I always had this feeling like I have this curiosity for video photography. So when I moved here with my father, my stepmom, my sister, and my little brother. I got my associate's degree with a minor in business. You know, my father works with business, so I knew I would do good because like I was great with math. Even in Brazil, I did 1 year of marketing with administration. So like I did accounting, statistic, I did all those classes, and I was like an A student. I was a good student, but it was just like I couldn't see myself really doing that, and I remember my mom, she's an artistic person. She paints. She's a art professor at University in Brazil. So she always had this artistic side. So I feel like I'm half and half. So I got a half of my father, which is the business side, which is really important for this.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's not important.
Yes.
And I also got the artistic side of my mom. So I feel like they both together really balance well, But my point with this conversation is just like, I realized I met a lot of those people, and I could see they were not happy. Until today, like I meet a lot of successful people, and I just see that they regret not really doing what they want to. Mm-hmm. Now they have a lot of money, they have success, but
that doesn't fulfill them.
Exactly, just like I'll waste all my life doing this, even though I have money to enjoy now, but what did I accomplish? And that's when it comes to the inspiration, motivation. You want to be able to not just have money, but be able to tell, I made a difference.
So after all this conversation, and this might sound repetitive, but I know your answer is going to be a little different. Who you are, Caio?
I'm an amazing videographer.
Nice, everybody.
I'm an arts guy.
You see? What do you want to be in 10 years?
10 years.
37 years old. Who is going to be Caio?
Who's going to be Caio? So, by then, I want to have traveled the world, make a lot of content, and have my course, my filmmaking course, be able to teach people what I've learned, business-wise, camera skills, all that. And I really want to have done some impactful creations when it comes to video and photography. One of my goals is to have a photo published on National Geographic because I love their photos. They have those yearly books, and I love their photos. And I want to have my photos in that book. And that's one of my goals. The other goals, I want to be able to do a photography exhibit. Have my all my work published in the gallery so people can go see. That's one of the things I really want to be able to accomplish. And by then, again, I haven't figured out where I'm going to be living, but I want to make sure I'm like close to nature, and really enjoy my life. And by then, I expect to have 2 kids.
Nice.
And a wife. So yeah, I have those, next 10 years to enjoy life, really figure out. And again, you talk about purpose and everything. And that goes more for the people that are watching me or us. It's normal to change your goals, And I think it's hard to have everything figured out at first, Honestly, like this whole travel thing, it came up this year, But until then, I was always like trying, like, no, I'm gonna be a wedding videographer. No, I'm gonna do fashion, and always changing. It's difficult sometimes to really find what you want. And even though like that's what I want now, but with time things change, and sometimes you need a new challenge too, or you get to that goal earlier in life. I'm doing so good in 3 years from now. They're like, okay, what's now? I want to do something different. I don't know. I want to go to space. I want to record Mars. So there's always gonna have a next goal, and I think that's important because if you settle for less, you're not gonna be fulfilled. You always need to have a new goal and really try to be achieving. But I think one of the most important thing, which is kind of cheesy, they say like the most important part is the journey, not the final destination. And I think that works really well with video. Like, you cannot just be like killing yourself, just like really trying to get to that point when you're not enjoying the process, when you're not enjoying learning.
Well, I can see it from now on, like a movie. It comes in front of my mind that you're going to have a very successful career.
I appreciate that.
Okay? So I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And for anything that you do, share it with us. We're going to repost for you, and we're going to share your content, okay, to help you the way that we can do it, to refer you if you need to meet new people, for sure. And just keep going and keep looking in yourself like you have done it until now.
I will. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. It was a great talk.
But let me know where we can find you.
Okay.
Don't
My
say
Instagram, Caio Aragon, Caio Aragon. It's going to be somewhere here.
Yes,
do you guys do that?
we're going to put it,
It's
yes.
going to be somewhere here. And just check my website. I have some of my previous portfolios in there. Social media you can find too. And again, if you're curious about learning anything, just reach out to me. I love teaching people. I love like sharing knowledge, or if you want to share something with me, I'm cool with that too. I love learning again. So
Perfect.
feel free to reach out.
We are in a win-and-win world.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you so much, Caio.
You're welcome.
That
was
was
a pleasure.
very nice to meeting you in MEETORS. And thank you guys for watching on. This is another episode, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you, Caio.
You're welcome.
Thanks to our sponsor, Secret Studios, you have heard MEETORS with Pixani. Don't forget to listen to us in all platforms and to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at MEETORS. Bye-bye. Bye-bye was like too much, right?